Jama Masjid Shahi Imam distances himself from these protests. Don't know the protesters is what the Shahi Imam of Jama Masjid has said. This is the first reaction of the Shahi Imam from Jama Masjid. Speaking to India Today, he says he doesn't know who the protesters are. Whether this was organized or whether this was spontaneous is a question we're waiting answers for. But the Shahi Imam, in an exclusive conversation with India Today, says that he doesn't know who the protesters are. These are protests that have broken out in different parts of the country. Right now we're referring to the protests at Delhi's Jama Masjid, where the Shahi Imam, who has a great deal of control over the masjid in Delhi's Jama Masjid, has spoken about the fact that he doesn't know who the protesters right outside Jama Masjid are. There have been protests, remember, that have broken out across the country against Nupur Sharma on her very controversial statements against Prophet Muhammad. Here the Shahi Imam says that he doesn't know who the protesters are. Essentially, what he's trying to indicate is that this isn't something that he was looking at, or this isn't something that he instructed. Essentially, the Shahi Imam of the Jama Masjid has a great deal of control over the Muslim population, particularly in this area, who often come to the masjid to offer prayers and who live in this particular area. But here the Imam is saying that he doesn't know who the protesters are. Many of these protesters, in fact, gathered outside the masjid right after the Friday prayers. But the Imam there is distancing himself from this, saying that he doesn't know who these protesters are. Whether the Imam was in the know